But did you know that millions of kids right here in our own backyard are facing hunger every day? Without healthy food, it's harder to grow, to thrive, to feel their best.
The impact when children don't have enough to eat is tremendous because when you're hungry and your basic needs aren't being met, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Spring training baseball continues this afternoon in a very different location. The Yankees have traveled to Mexico City, a city steeped in tradition, the one that also has deep baseball connections. The game is woven into the fabric of the people there. No masking their love for the game. And they welcome the Yankees for the first time since 1968. They'll play 2 games over 2 days. Some former major leaguers and former Yankees playing for the Diablos Rojos in this one. As we welcome you to Yankee Spring Training presented by Montefiore Einstein. It is the Yankees against the Diablos Rojos from Alfredo Harpelú Stadium in Mexico City. This has been circled on the maps of both of these teams and the calendars, but certainly for the Yankees, who have talked a lot about how much they were looking forward to this trip.
We're excited with the group we brought. It's the Yankee pinstripes are going to be here, and hopefully we can help spread this great game even and make it a little bit bigger even here in Mexico.
It's very exciting. I was going to quote the great Selena Quintanilla and say I'm muy excited. I mean, this is an awesome thing. I think hopefully at some point, I know MLB wants to expand, maybe thinking about Mexico City. It's a beautiful city with beautiful people. And I think the culture and the passion for baseball is going to be rich. I think people would love it. And I think I'm just very excited for tonight. I think it's going to be very exciting.
Our guys are definitely feeling the altitude. Especially the coaches, walking up the stairs. That takes some getting used to.
You can definitely feel it out there. It's interesting it being so warm with the thin air too. So it's a cool adjustment, and yeah, it should be fun to hit.
Maybe you want to use it in a home run.
Awesome, thank you. My head might be too big for this. Let's see. There we go.
That's our interview of the day presented by Ford. Giancarlo Stanton hoping to channel his inner luchador today, at least with the bat. Today's pitching matchup is brought to you by Kia. For the Yankees, it'll be the lefty Tanner Tully getting the start against former major leaguer Trevor Bauer, who spent last year in Japan, went 11-4 with a 2.59 ERA. It's Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty with you today. Flash, let's get to our Hyundai pitcher scouting report.
Yeah, we'll take a little scouting report to look at Tanner Tully, Ohio State Buckeye. He was drafted by Cleveland in 2016 out of Ohio State. And he actually had a cup of coffee in the big leagues April 22nd, 2022. Pitched a couple innings against the Yankees. Aaron Judge actually took him deep, but he's had 6 good innings of spring training, so he gets a start tonight. And you mentioned Trevor Bauer. He won that Cy Young Award in the National League in 2020. Pitched in Japan last year and had some good numbers, 10-4 with a 2.76 ERA. Trying to get back into the major leagues, so he's going to look at this opportunity and all the ones following as an audition for major league clubs.
Omar Minaya is a senior advisor for baseball operations for the Yankees. He is one of those who was so instrumental in setting up this 2-game series. He's on hand. Tony Bruno, President Randy Levine as well. You see the owner there in the middle of the Diablos Rojos. That is Alfredo Harpelú. And a very special first pitch. And Flash, I think you know this guy, number 42.
Mariano Rivera made the trip, and if we get a look at this first pitch, we always have to pay attention. Yep, a little bit of cut on that, Bob, and delivering that strike to former Yankee Robinson Cano back behind the plate.
You know what's great about that moment is there are so many fans from Mexico who love the game and love the Yankees, never got to see Mo pitch. Hey, I don't care if it's a ceremonial first pitch. They just got to see Mo throw a cutter.
And these, this is going to be a lot of memories for everybody involved here. The fans from Mexico going to enjoy this game. Both clubs out on the field. I know the Yankees wearing the pinstripes on the road as a visiting club. Still pretty special to show up in Mexico City.
Let's check out the starting lineup for the Yankees today, brought to you by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealer. It starts with Anthony Volpe in the leadoff spot, followed by Giancarlo Stanton DHing today. Oswaldo Cabrera will play third. Oscar Gonzalez is in right. Jose Rojos is at first base. Jose Trevino doing the catching. Kevin Smith is at second. Grant Richardson is at left. And Greg Allen is the center fielder. Stanton, by the way, has caught fire lately. Some tape measure shots, including that one game, Flash, in which he had 3 home runs. I think you were calling that game. Right?
I was, and I think if we coming into spring training, Giancarlo Stanton needed to have a good spring, not to make the club, obviously, but from a confidence standpoint. And I think, Bob, you can say his spring training has gone perfectly. He's gotten hot at the middle, trying to carry that into opening day.
Now, you saw the wide shot of the stadium and some of the shots that we're showing you. We are taking a world feed. We want our Yes audience to know, watching on Yes and the Yes app. So you'll see certainly some different images. This is a lively crowd. It always has been as the Diablos Rojos take the field. Trevor Bauer getting the start for the team today. It's a wildly popular team. They are considered the Yankees of Mexico. And so for this pairing to happen again, the first time since March of 1968, that was a series in which fans then, Flash, got to see Mickey Mantle going into his final year, and now they get to see the likes of Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, it's just a special couple of days, like I said, for everybody involved. You're going to have Volpe, you're going to have Stanton, you're going to have some representative Yankees in this lineup, and for the fans in Mexico City to be able to watch these two games is going to be fantastic, but I think for all of Major League Baseball to expand the game, right? I think it's going to become more international. This is just a part of it.
Well, let's take a look at the defense that will take the field for the Diablos Rojos behind Trevor Bauer. Julian Ornelas is in left. Franklin Barreto is in center. Aristides Aquino is in right. Around the infield, it's Jose Rondon, Juan Carlos Gamboa, Robbie Cano, obviously very familiar to Yankees fans. Jose Marmolejos is at first base. Jafid Amador is the DH, and Xavier Fernandez is behind the plate. So the Rojos history goes all the way back to the 1940s. And it's a team that has grown in popularity. And Flash, not surprisingly, because the Yankees were a global brand, as much as the Padres and Dodgers have made inroads being from the West Coast, close to the Mexican border, with fans down there, the Yankees are still considered the most popular team in Mexico.
The most popular team in the United States is showing up in Mexico and Mexico City. I mean, this is a historic first pitch that's going to be delivered here from Trevor Bauer.
So again, has not happened since March of 1968. And you hear the crowd and the reaction. That is more than 20,000 people at this stadium, which opened in 2019, in part in an effort to lure Major League Baseball teams down there. And last year, the Padres and Giants played a series there, and that has begun the presence of Major League Baseball more and more in Mexico City. First pitch from Trevor Bauer is a swinging strike by Anthony Volpe.
Bob, the first thing that jumps out to me is the crowd, right? The horns that are being played, and it has a winter ball feel to it. But baseball in Mexico is a big deal.
Now, a couple of the players who played for the WBC team in Mexico, Alex Verdugo, who we'll talk about him, he was going to make the trip but did not. And then Luis Cessa, who used to pitch for the Yankees, they played for that WBC team and talked about that atmosphere. It's almost like a soccer crowd at times, how much they get into it. 0-2 pitch. Bauer misses away 1-2.
And Team Mexico handled themselves very well in that World Baseball Classic. So the quality of play is there. They're trying to develop it, and we're trying to expand our game. Another look at the breaking ball down from Bauer.
1-2 pitch to Volpe. And he misses down 2-2. One thing we've seen from a variety of Yankees so far this spring, disciplined at bats, extending at bats. And that's going to be a big thing for Volpe, not having that swing and miss, maybe looking up in the zone, able to tighten things up a little bit.
Yeah, and we'll see where he ends up in the starting lineup as far as the batting order is concerned.
He does go after a high pitch, sends it out to right field, and that ball tracked down and right, one away.
Well, we heard Giancarlo Stanton, we heard Aaron Boone talking about the altitude, and we just got to look at it right there. Volpe hitting that ball well, but it just kept carrying Bob out to right field, and a nice play for the first out.
So just for comparison, as Giancarlo Stanton comes up, the Mile High City, Denver, where the Rockies place, 5,200 feet above sea level. Mexico City is 7,300 feet above sea level, so that's why that ball is going to fly. Stanton would like to get into one and send it out of the stadium here. He's been doing that a lot so far this spring. Looks at strike one.
Always paying attention to Giancarlo and his stance, a little bit closed, but a little more movement with the hands, getting ready a little bit earlier.
Ground ball to shortstop, 2 away.
Bob, I just find it so cool that the Yankees are wearing their pinstripes that they wear for home games at Yankee Stadium, but they took those pinstripes out on the road here so the fans in Mexico City can get a look up close and personal at the Yankee pinstripes.
And it'll be interesting to scan the stands to see if those pinstripe jerseys are there, if the gray road jerseys, but obviously you see a lot of red for the Rojos, the Diablos Rojos. Oswaldo Cabrera batting third, playing third, getting a lot of action lately with DJ LeMahieu nursing and resting that injured foot. And so Cabrera's been getting some good reps.
Yeah, and the bat is starting to heat up, too, right at the perfect time for him. A disappointing year last year trying to get back on track. And, you know, the uncertainty of DJ LeMahieu, all of a sudden Cabrera comes to be a very important piece, possibly playing third base on opening day.
Which brings up the question, if DJ's not available, we saw today Anthony Volpe. Could you slide him into the leadoff spot? He certainly had some very quality at-bats, and the on-base percentage has shot up this spring.
Yeah, and we've also seen Gleyber Torres get a look in that leadoff spot. So Aaron Boone has some options, but, you know, obviously trying to get DJ healthy is the most important piece.
Good eye there from Cabrera on a pitch up. 3-1. And a swing and a miss, 3-2. Fouled away as he stays alive. They talked about the warm weather. We heard Stanton mention that. The altitude. And the effect that it can certainly have on the players and those in attendance as well. Over 20,000 strong when this game went online for tickets, sold out within an hour as Cabrera draws a 2-out walk. So it shows you the popularity of this game and the chance for these fans in Mexico and Mexico City to see the Yankees.
Yeah, and the facility is top-notch, right? Major League quality. It doesn't have the seating capacity that we're used to seeing with Major League stadiums, about 20,000 people. But all of the intricacies of a Major League stadium, this stadium has it. So, obviously, Major League Baseball may be looking to expand at some point. This could be an opportunity.
Cabrera on first. One away, and a ground ball from Gonzalez over to third. They go the short way, and that will do it in the first. So Yanks get a man aboard. We're heading to the bottom of the first. First at bats coming up for the Diablos.
Now it's driven to center field and deep. See ya! Soaring into history. 62. The AL King. Case closed.
Every morning, our show will keep you well informed. Plus, our show will bring you some fun. Hi, I'm Len Berman. And I'm Michael Riedel. Wake up to New York Opinion and the news of the day. And be ready to be entertained. It's Len Berman and Michael Riedel in the morning. Weekday morning, 6 till 10 on WOR.
This is New York. When the action heats up, we know how to get loud. Fact is, we love our Yankees, and we never miss a single game on Yes.
Oh, yes.
Headlined by the captain, Aaron Judge, and the newest superstar, Juan Soto. This season, don't miss Yankees baseball on Yes and the Yes app.
Yankee Spring Training on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Get away with great deals on every new Hyundai, only at the Hyundai Getaway Sales event today. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Help America's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. By FanDuel. Make every moment more. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Let's check out the starting lineup for the Diablos Rojos. It is brought to you by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealer. Begins with the former Major Leaguer Franklin Barreto in center field. Robbie Cano is at second. Jose Rondon is at third, followed by Amador, Aquino, Marmolejos, Ornelas, Fernandez, and Juan Carlos Gamboa. You see the numbers for Gamboa. 78 games with the Diablos last year, a .335 hitter. There's the defense. Grant Richardson in left. Greg Allen in center for the Yankees. Oscar Gonzalez in right. Around the infield, Cabrera, Volpe, Smith, and Rojas. And Trevino behind the plate. Tanner Tully getting the start for the Yankees. And the pitch to Barreto. First pitch swinging. Ground ball, base hit up the middle. And that brings up the always interesting matchup of a Yankees pitcher and a Yankees team. As we see Barreto, that first pitch swinging, they're going to be aggressive against Tully early in this one. Remains to be seen if Robbie Cano, who's batting second, will have the same approach. Takes a pitch low, 1-0.
Well, that always familiar stance from Robinson Cano. Slightly open with his lower body. And the numbers over a fantastic Major League career. And he'll face Tanner Tully. Fastball, slider, changeup.
Ground ball, second base. Nice play by Smith. Volpe on to first. Put in the books, 4-6-3 double play. Accompanied by some horns, by the way. So there are definitely some Yankees fans in attendance.
Yeah, some Yankee fans like that double play, and a lot to like about it as Smith with the hot shot off of Cano, the nice turn. But I think you're right, Bob. Tanner Tully's going to find out the Diablos are going up there swinging. They're ready to swing the bats.
Jose Rondon is the third baseman for the Diablos. Tully a good mix and starting things off speed. Recognized maybe with the first two batters the fastball that they were going after it.
Yeah, we talked about the altitude and the effect that it's going to have on some of the players, but you always think about a breaking ball from a pitcher that just spins more than grips the air and really breaks. So I kind of like that first pitch, get me over curveball, followed up by a good changeup. So there has to be some adjustments from this left-hander in the altitude. It's a big deal for Tanner Tully, too, right? Yeah. I mentioned in the scouting report he had a cup of coffee with the Guardians back in the day. Only pitched a couple of innings in the big leagues and was sent down right after that. So, I mean, this is a guy who's trying to reestablish himself. He's had a good spring with the Yankees in his 6 innings. And to get a start here in this environment, that's, you know, it's a great opportunity for him.
And to see how far he can go in this game and just kind of give the bullpen maybe a little bit of a break. They've got a game today and then tomorrow night, a game that we'll have for you on the Yes app. Lifts that one into foul territory, into the shadows. Rojas is there, and that will do it. So a very efficient bottom of the first for Tully. We're taking it to the top of the second.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now, get 1.9% APR for 72 months on Ford F-150, only at your local Ford store.
Greetings happen.
Hi, cutie.
The best night of the week happens.
We are having taco night.
Dance parties happen.
Hey.
Yeah, that's not good happens.
Hey, put that down.
Big moments happen.
I got into UC Davis.
Home happens. Be there with Ring. Learn more at ring.com.
From friends coming over to moms coming over. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
All in one place.
Yes.
Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
Yankee Spring Training on Yes is presented by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official SUV of the Yankees. For current offers, visit buyfordnow.com. Top of the second inning in Mexico City, and Trevor Bauer will face the 5, 6, 7 hitters, starting with Jose Rojos, who recorded the last out there in the bottom of the first. First pitch swinging, pops that one up to second base. And you see the wind taking that one a little bit. The shortstop has got it, one away.
The wind is blowing out to right field, and you can see at the time of day that this game has started, the sun will be somewhat of an issue. So communication very important. And the Yankees facing Trevor Bauer here this afternoon, and we haven't seen him for a while, but he's always been fastball about 50% of the time. And then he has 4 breaking balls he can go with: a slider, cutter, curveball, and a change.
We heard Jose Trevino talking to the assembled media from the podium prior to the game as Bauer misses up and in. For Trevino, this trip important. He is of Mexican descent. Victor Gonzalez is Mexican-born. We expect to see him pitch today. And then Alex Verdugo, also of Mexican descent, was going to make the trip but did not. We said we'd mention him. His girlfriend is reportedly pregnant and due to give birth, so he decided to step aside and not make this trip. But for Trevino, this is certainly a big deal.
Yeah, when we listened to him talk to the media, you could tell he was emotional about this and how special it is going to be for him.
Pop into foul territory down the line and right. I mentioned Victor Gonzalez again. We'll talk about him more later if he does get into this game, which he is expected to, but he had about 15 family members make the trip over from his home state and hometown, and some have never seen him pitch in person as a major leaguer. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, it's a little bit of what Bauer can do to you, too. A little quick pitch and rides that fastball up and in. Everything moves. The slider, the cutter, the curveball, the change, and he's got movement on the fastball.
Chopper up the middle. Gamboa can't get to it. That'll get into center for a one-out base hit.
Well, you play at a new stadium, a new field, and you're always paying attention to the playing conditions. And infield looks awfully fast right there as Trevino able to scoot that ground ball right back up the middle. Looked like it had a little top spin as it hits in front of the plate. And a very fast infield is able to get up the middle for a base hit.
That pitch almost looked like it had a little knuckle quality to it. So Trevino's on first, one away. That brings up Kevin Smith. He is starting at second base today. Smith, last season with the A's, got into 49 games, 5 homers, 11 runs batted in. Lifts that one out to right field. And 2 away. It does bear repeating that when you hear the crack of the bat, keep an eye on the flight of the ball because of the altitude there in Mexico City. Grant Richardson is playing left field for the Yankees today. He comes up with 2 outs and Trevino on first. And looks at a breaking ball, strike 1.
Bob, I was lucky enough to play in Mexico City back during my playing days as we get another look at that get-me-over curveball. In 2001, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time played a couple of spring training games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Mexico City, a beautiful place, beautiful city. And I always enjoyed as a player kind of just getting away and experiencing something different, you know, and the crowds jumped out at me, getting away with your teammates and experiencing a new culture. It was a great experience for everybody.
And a base hit up the middle. Trevino will advance to second base. So a 2-out base hit, first and second. And some of these players may never go back to Mexico City. So it's a chance to really have this thing set up and a chance to see probably some of the local sites before you get down to the business of playing baseball.
Yeah, nice swing by Richardson. But I think that's one of the strengths of Aaron Boone, manager of the Yankees, is to remind these players, listen, take this all in. Enjoy all of this because this is a special situation that is probably a once in a lifetime for a lot of these guys. So whether it's, you know, taking some mementos home with you, pictures, whatever it is, the experience is really going to be one that you're going to hold on to for a long time.
It's too bad when you went, the Devil Rays didn't play the Red Devils.
That would have been an interesting matchup, yeah.
2 away, and the number 9 hitter, Greg Allen, comes up. Allen, known for his speed, would be great to see him hit a gap here and see what happens with 2 aboard and 2 away. Bauer thought he hit the top of the zone, didn't get the call, 2-0. It's interesting how, as rowdy as the crowd gets, when the pitch comes, the crowd kind of gets a little silent.
Yeah, they're educated baseball fans, right? They show the excitement and the joy, excuse me, before the pitch is thrown, and then they lock in.
3-0 pitch to Greg Allen. So is the car horn there more disturbing for Bauer or for Allen on a 3-0 pitch? Anyway, that walk loads the bases with 2 away. And they'll go back to the top of the lineup and Anthony Volpe. Volpe, by the way, lined out to right in his first at bat. Got some solid contact on that one.
Not a bad visit right here from the catcher and the pitching coach for Trevor Bauer. We talked about the altitude, and you can just tell he's a little bit off right there on that 4-pitch walk to the number 9 hitter, Greg Allen.
You know, it really makes you think with the altitude and the thin air about pitch counts even more. He had 15 pitches in the first inning. He's already hit that mark in the second inning. It's just got to be different for a guy who's, you know, 1,000 feet above sea level.
Yep. You talk about stressful pitches. You would imagine that all of these at this altitude, you know, the legs are going to get a little bit wobbly. And, you know, Anthony Volpe trying to do some damage here early and get the Yankees out ahead in this one.
So bases loaded, 2 away. And Volpe a little chopper foul. First pitch swinging, though, on a fastball.
You know, that's that cutter that I was talking about. Everything seems to move from Bauer. So you think you're going to put a good swing on it if you're Anthony Volpe, and then you kind of run out of bat and you hit it off the end. He's really a guy that you have to stay on the middle of the field to right center field. And with the wind carrying out to right field, it'd be a good approach for Anthony Volpe. We saw him, he hit him a home run earlier in the spring going the other way.
Chance to get the Yanks on the board first here. Bases loaded. 2 away. 0-1 pitch coming up to Volpe. And pops that one up behind the plate. And that'll go into the seats. 0-2. What we have noticed on this World Feed Flash is that the pitch box is actually a little off. So if it looks like it's right down the middle, chances are it probably is not.
And everything's registering 96 miles an hour, which obviously that's not the case. But that was a pitch right there for Volpe that he missed. He fouled it off right down the middle. So now he's just got to try to spread out a little bit and put the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Goes fastball. And he fouls it off. So that's another good sign there that he's just at least chipping away and staying alive in this at-bat.
I totally agree. And I was just going to say, these are situations we're going to pay attention to during spring, but also the first month of the season, because we remember last year that elevated fastball gave Volpe a lot of problems with 2 strikes. And with this swing that's a little bit more flat and stays through the zone a little bit more, he should have some more success with that high heater.
0-2 pitch. And chases one outside, so Bauer leaving the bases stranded, getting Volpe to swing through that one as the Yanks threaten but can't push one across.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now, get 1.9% APR for 72 months on Ford F-150, only at your local Ford store.
Deliveries happen.
Hello? We didn't order that.
Are you sure?
This happens.
Socks. No.
That happens.
Hey, get out of there.
Charlie's up to bat in the pitch.
Oh, let's go.
Home happens. Be there with Ring. Learn more at ring.com.
From need the dough to need it now. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
Ooh, I love. Totally. But keep swiping. This is so much fun.
This makes it so easy.
Yes, that was a good one.
Let's go. Play your favorite slots today, and you can win the next big jackpot. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds, only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Hi! Need new glasses? It's buy one, get one free at VisionWorks! How can you see me squinting? I can't, I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
See your tax refund go further with buy one, get one free at VisionWorks. See the difference.
Yankee Spring Training on Yes is presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Head to the bottom of the second in Mexico City. The Yankees and Diablos Rojos scoreless so far. Tanner Tully getting the start for the Yankees. He gave up a leadoff single in the first, erased by a double play, and then got a pop-up. So he'll face the 4, 5, 6 hitters, beginning with Jafet Amador. Tully in with a strike, 0-1. To add a little context to what you were talking about with his cup of coffee with the Guardians, April of 2022, he pitched 2 innings in relief against the Yankees and gave up Aaron Judge's 3rd home run in his 62 home run season.
He worked those 2 innings, and then he got sent back down to the minor leagues and has been trying to fight his way back. And, you know, he's not going to make this opening day roster, but we talk about it all spring training, Bob. You want to make an impression.
And he's doing that so far. Ground ball, third base, Cabrera on, 1 away.
I mentioned the 6 good innings so far, now 7 into the 8th inning of his spring. And You know, there's enough there that he's had some success in spring training that if there's a conversation for a left-hander at some point, you want your name to be remembered from what you did this spring with the Yankees.
Aristides Aquino played in Japan last year. You saw his numbers. He's playing right field today. And first pitch swinging again, aggressive. Cabrera on first, 2 away.
Well, mentioned Cabrera's bat has been heating up lately, and he might get that opening day nod playing third base, and looks very comfortable over there. A couple of hot shots at the hot corner. That's a little elevated breaking ball right there that he got away with, but Cabrera, easy play, and the nice, strong, accurate throw across the diamond.
2 away. This will bring up Jose Marmolejos. And first pitch strike for Tully. You know, getting the start here today, you think of opportunities anywhere, maybe out of the bullpen, and Yankees are trying to figure some things out. Aaron Boone announcing that Luis Gil will take that 5th spot in the rotation. So there was a little bit of news there today in terms of what they're doing in the absence of Garrett Cole.
Yeah, and good news for Gil. I mean, he deserved that. He dominated this spring and coming all the way back from the injury and going to be part of this rotation. And the Yankees love his swing and miss stuff, which is what he has shown this spring training. So congratulations to him. He earned it.
Two pitch from Tully. And another breaking ball lifted into center field and more towards left, and Grant Richardson tracks it down, and that will do it as we head to the top of the 3rd.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Did you receive a call or message that mentioned Social Security and demanded immediate action? Did the caller know your Social Security number or other personal information and tell you that your Social Security number had been used in connection with the crime? Did you feel worried that your Social Security number might be suspended, your bank account might be frozen or seized, or you could be arrested? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, demand your personal information, or instant payment, email or text you pictures or documents, or use a real government official's name to gain your trust. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Ignore them. Report this criminal activity to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
When I was 19 and I was going to shows, I was not thinking about permanent hearing loss. I wasn't thinking about tinnitus.
Sometimes my kids are having a conversation with me and that ringing starts in my ear. They're talking to me and I hear their voice, but I can't focus on what they're saying.
The audiologist, he told me that most of his clients are not old people. They're kids that have their earphones in.
I have a lot of regret about not protecting my ears sooner.
Protect your ears at all times, no matter what. It's not something you can get back.
Hey fans, the Legends of Baseball will be having their 2nd annual cruise on the Celebrity Cruises Apex departing December 7th, 2024. They'll be visiting some of the most tropical ports in the Caribbean. The Legends will include El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, Jim Leyritz, and our colleague Jeff Nelson, and many more. This exclusive experience will include all private events, including autograph and photo sessions with the Legends. Staterooms are going fast, so be sure to visit legendsofbaseballcruise.com today. As we head to the top of the 3rd, Giancarlo Stanton will lead things off. Scoreless on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard, and we are pleased to be welcomed by Omar Minaya, Senior Advisor of Baseball Operations. Omar, you were instrumental in helping put this series together. Tell us a little bit about your end of it and how it all came about.
Well, my end of it is really more kind of listening to the players. So Ben Tulowitz kind of came up to me and told me in June that actually Giancarlo Stanton, who's up right now, and other players came up. Trevino asked, and they would love to come and play in Mexico. Giancarlo's, as you know, loves to travel the world. He's kind of a world person. came to Mexico, love Mexico. And, you know, I said, well, let me see what I can do. And here we are today.
We may have lost you a little bit there. Omar, are you still with us? No, we'll make an effort to get Omar back. In the meantime, we have seen some good baseball so far, and the Yankees having some really good plate discipline against Trevor Bauer. Omar, I think we got you back as Stanton swings and misses for one away here in the third. And you were talking about how this all came about. Now I want to take it to the historical perspective of what this means for folks in Mexico to be able to see the Yankees, because they have not been there since 1968.
No, it means so much. It means so much. Like I was talking to the promoter, it's an event that brings back, you know, it's like all of us that are, you know, if you're of age, you told Mickey, and you've probably been a great-grandfather now, this brings you back a lot of memories. So, but what it does is it also brings new memories for young. So it brings the old. One global brand that is so popular. It might be the most popular sports brand in the world.
Yeah, Omar, I was going to talk about that part. What does this mean for Major League Baseball as a whole, but especially the New York Yankee organization promoting their brand internationally?
Well, I think, as you know, one thing about sports now, you know, they're global. Look at the NBA. They're going all over the world. You know, the NFL, the NFL is going to Europe. Every sport is global. And for baseball, and if you look at the demographics of our players, look at all our star players, it's a global game. It's a global, we're living in a global world. And for us to be here participating in games, bringing baseball, and then bringing the Yankee brand to this part of the world is not only good for the fans, now, you know, in the world in baseball. And I think it's all good for all of baseball. I'm pretty sure everybody wins by having these events.
Well, Omar, I'm not breaking any news with you because you've traveled all over the world extensively, scouting and in different roles with teams in Major League Baseball. That interlocking NY, you seem to see it everywhere you go, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I've been all over. I've been in Israel. I've been at the Vatican. I've been in Italy. I've been in Africa. And wherever you go, and not only me, everywhere you go, there is one logo that you see, and it's the NY logo. That's for sure.
Yeah, our fans, Omar, know about the New York Yankees and the popularity. But can you tell us a little bit about the success of the Diablos?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The Diablos has been a great organization. And, you know, historically, Mexican baseball has been, you know, if you study history of baseball, you know, all these great players that play here, of course, at one time the Negro Leaguers were the only place that and great Americans would tour through Mexico over the years. I don't know if the Babe did it, but others. But Mexico has always been a great, rich baseball country. And, you know, it's a very popular sport in Mexico. So, you know, and then you're talking about Mexico, you're talking about over 150 million fans. And in this day and age of technology and people being able to hook up on their phone and see baseball, who does not want to have that customer base? So Mexico has a passion for baseball, but a lot of that has to do with Alfredo Harp, the owner of the Diablos Rojos. The Diablos Rojos are a history team. At one time, there was two teams. There was the Diablos Rojos and the Tigers, Mexico City. But the Diablos Rojos has maintained that high standard that the Yankees have always maintained.
Well, Omar, let me ask you about the owner, Alfredo, because he also has the Academia de Baseball, which you had a hand in helping set up. And right now in the major leagues or in the pro ranks, there's 69 players from that academy scattered throughout Major League Baseball. How much of just a great system is that to produce that many players out of Mexico?
Fantastic. It's a great system. Was exactly you're right. When I was with the Mets, they asked us if we can help them build an academy, and of course, as you know, Dominican Republic is at the lead of those academy, and they wanted to build one like that, and we ended up doing that back in 2008 or 2009, I believe it was. It's a first-class academy that has produced players like the left-handed pitcher, Furias, so many great Mexican players. As the list goes on and on, guys. Actually, the kid today was going to pitch for Gonzalez. I believe he was the winning pitcher in the Dodgers when the Dodgers won the World Series.
Well, Omar, we are having some technical problems in terms of a connection with you. We're going to let you go, but Omar Minaya, we thank you so much for joining us and talking about the deep roots of baseball in Mexico and with the owner, Alfredo Harpelú, his baseball academy, and again, Omar helping set that up, Flash, and then the quality of players that have come through there, including, we saw on the graphic, Victor Gonzalez, who we expect to see pitch for the Yankees.
Yeah, it has to be so rewarding to start an academy like that and see the end results of players making it to the major leagues. And we talked a little bit earlier about Team Mexico as that ball gets away from the catcher. Team Mexico and the WBC really handled themselves so well, so the talent level, you can see it just getting better and better year in and year out.
I do have to say this, and I was hoping to ask Omar about this because he's there, but just the vibe of that stadium and just a different atmosphere. Omar, are you still with us?
I am back, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
We got you again. Can you speak to that, just the different vibe and atmosphere that the fans in Mexico provide?
It's unbelievable. It's a festival. It's a party. It's a great, and of course, for that to happen, you need to have artistic people, and it's a celebration. It's a music celebration. It's a fan celebration. It's, the best way I can describe it, when you watch the World Baseball Classic, everybody falls in love with that. Imagine having the World Baseball Classic not only once every 3 or 4 years, but having that, a couple of times a year, games a year here. That's how it is. Music, festival, people eating, and having a lot of fun.
Omar, I was just talking about how well Mexico represented themselves in that WBC, and you must see the talent just getting better year in and year out in Mexico.
No doubt, no doubt. And the thing to remember about Mexico that there's a lot of Mexican-Americans that feel like Mexican, whether it's the Benji Gills of the world, or Trevino's a guy who's a Mexican-American. So, yes, it's because they're a border country, and whether it's Texas, California, Arizona, a lot of these people feel connected to not only America, but also to Mexico. And, it's a great feeling if you believe in bringing people together from all, and that's what baseball does, and it's great at. And in this stadium, that's what you're feeling. Yankee fans, Rojos fans, but you got fans from all over the world. This game was sold out within 20-some minutes for 2 games immediately, and that's how much passion these fans have.
Well, that passion is certainly going to carry over to tomorrow when they play yet another game. And Jose Trevino flipped to second. They'll get the out. So, Omar, thank you so much for joining us and giving us some context about what this series means. Always good to talk to you.
Great talking to you guys.
It remains a scoreless game in Mexico City. Stay with us.
Change is never easy. There will be naysayers, doubters, and critics. You may even give up for a moment, only to start again another day. Because you believe in moving to the beat of your own drum, in passing down lifelong skills, in your ability to lose weight and keep it off. And when you believe you can succeed, you already have.
Wegovy is for adults with obesity and shouldn't be used with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines. Don't take Wegovy if you or your family had medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if allergic to it. Stop Wegovy and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis and gallbladder problems. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat type 2 diabetes. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes, or if you feel your heart racing while at rest. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Call your provider right away if you have any mental changes. Common side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
So keep on believing, because it's not just about the weight you lose. It's about everything you gain. Believe on. Wegovy.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Welcome back to Yankee Spring Training presented by Ford. Proud to be the official SUV of the New York Yankees. We are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third. It was great talking to Omar Minaya about what this series means. 2 games, so much passion for these fans. And it just shows really that push of Major League Baseball to be global. We've seen it with the NFL going abroad at times. We've seen it with the NBA, but the MLB, Major League Baseball, seems to really be picking up traction.
Yeah, and there's no doubt promoting the game internationally is the next step. I talk about the possibility of MLB expanding to some different cities, but I think the Yankee brand expanding international, worldwide, why not, right? It's great for the product.
7, 8, 9 hitters that Tanner Tully will face. He has looked good so far. Last inning, couple ground balls and a fly ball out. Third inning of work, he's only thrown 17 pitches. Here's pitch number 18, up and in, 2-0 to Julian Ornelas.
Well, you're seeing the time of day. The shadows are going to be a factor at some point during this one. Probably not so terrible right now, but it's only going to get worse.
And Tully in with a strike and always seems to harness things back in and get in the strike zone with an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and when I mentioned the shadows, if you're a pitcher, you take advantage of that. Pound the strike zone, try to get ahead in the count early. We've seen the Diablos ready to swing the bat right when they get up to the box.
Ornelas with a pop. Cabrera is over. 1 away. We've talked a little bit about Tully. Want to talk about his battery mate, Jose Trevino, back fully healthy. What are you seeing from him this spring so far?
Well, I mean, he just hit a rocket his last at bat and didn't have anything to show for it. So offensively, he looks like his game is in good shape. And behind the plate, he has had no recurrence of the calf issue, which is great news. Had the surgery last year on his wrist, got that taken care of. So I'm sure Jose just looking forward to a healthy campaign and catch as many innings as he can.
Here is his counterpart, the catcher, Xavier Fernandez.
Catching situation this year for the Yankees is going to be very interesting to watch. First of all, how it plays out at the end of spring training, looking forward to opening day. And then how the playing time situation is going to be broken down. You have Austin Wells, a young kid, having a great spring training. Trevino, the veteran. To me, that would be a great combination. Ben Rortvedt out of options, so we don't know what his future looks like, but catching situation very, very solid.
First base hit of the game from Fernandez with 1 away here in the third. First base hit of the game, I should say, for the Diablos.
Love it. Love seeing the shots of the crowd in Mexico City and their passion. As nice job of just staying inside and driving this ball to right field. And, you know, I played winter ball in Puerto Rico one winter, and, I mean, it's just an electric environment when you show up every night and the crowds are they're blowing the whistles. They're playing their horn, the music, the festivities. Omar talked about it. It's like it's a party atmosphere, and the players feed off of that. It's different than what we're used to in Major League Baseball, and I think it's a good thing. A lot of energy in the stadium.
1 out in the third. Gamboa, the shortstop, is the batter. And lifts that one out to left field. Good carry. Grant Richardson over and watches that ball fly. The question is it gone? And it is not. It was a foul ball. A few fans getting pretty excited there for a foul ball.
Well, you can just tell with this altitude, anything that gets up in the air, it just keeps going.
By the way, we talk about Major League Baseball's foray internationally. The Diablos have gone full tilt in terms of jersey sponsorships and pant sponsorships. compared to Major League Baseball. That is very noticeable. Gamboa, a little chopper, back to Tully. He'll take the out at first. 2 away with a runner advancing to second.
Yep, those pitchers' fundamental fielding practice that you do all spring training long. Easy play for Tully. Gets the weak contact right in front of home plate. Comes in, takes his time, makes sure he delivers a good throw.
And that pitch right there, I mean, that's a really smart pitch, right? You talked about shadows playing a part, but also there's nothing Gamboa can do with that except just get the edge of the bat on.
Yeah, and I think the edge is the most important thing. Pitching to the edges of the strike zone. And we watch Tully's stuff. It's not the overpowering fastball velocity. He's a finesse guy that's got to move the baseball around, pitch off the plate, use a hitter's aggressiveness against them. And so far, so good with 2 outs here in the third. Only 27 pitches thrown.
First runner of the game by the Diablos to get to second base, so in scoring position as he delivers ball 2. Franklin Barreto singled in his first at bat. And Barreto out to right field. That's your inning right there. Tully, another good bit of work there in the third as we're scoreless heading to the fourth.
A full house at Yankee Stadium.
Fans are finally in, and it is time for baseball.
For a first pitch fastball and jump on.
High drive, deep left center. There it goes. See ya.
At this very moment, Doctors Without Borders is on the ground in communities around the world, delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most. Our teams are bandaging war-wounded patients caught in the crossfire in Sudan, providing clean drinking water in Haiti, and performing emergency C-sections in Yemen. Doctors Without Borders teams are in over 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving work is made possible by our movement of supporters, people like you who help our patients even when they're half a world away. At Doctors Without Borders, we won't stop working to bring our patients and their communities from crisis to care.
When disaster strikes, no matter where and when, cash is best. Those in crisis are able to decide where that money goes. It's easily exchanged and received across borders, and nobody knows the needs of a community in crisis better than the people within it. With cash, help goes exactly where it's needed, when it's needed. Ultimately, cash creates choice. And when it comes to what we should send to communities in need, our choice is simple.
Today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole, of course, on the DL with nerve inflammation and edema in his right elbow. Jason Dominguez, I said DL, AIL. Jason Dominguez still recovering from Tommy John surgery, and then Tommy Canley, right shoulder inflammation. DJ LeMahieu, according to Aaron Boone, a long shot to be ready now for opening day. That news coming out today. So again, it goes back to the question of who do you put in that leadoff spot? You mentioned Gleyber Torres a possibility. Anthony Volpe, Alex Verdugo has been floated out there as a possibility as well.
You know, we just looked at that graphic as well. Tommy Canley throwing live batting practice, so he's working his way back. Hopefully he won't miss too much of the season.
New pitcher for the Diablos, lefty Connor Menez takes over. 15 games in Japan last year, pitching to an ERA north of 8. Scoreless on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard. 4 hits for the Yankees against Trevor Bauer in this one so far as Menez takes over. And 2 hits for the Diablos. Kevin Smith flew out to right field in his first at-bat. You know, let's talk about the importance of a guy like Oswaldo Cabrera. If what Boone says is true, that LeMahieu might not be ready for opening day, just for him to be hitting a stride right now as the regular season is just 4 days away.
Bob, there's no doubt about it, and especially a guy who, you know, he didn't hit the way that we thought he would last year. So coming into spring training, looking to make a club, first of all, and now you get this opportunity that might be presented to you, and you don't know how long it would last. Is it a week? Is it 10 days? Whatever it is, you want to make sure you're on top of your game to take advantage of that opportunity. And it looks like Cabrera has been swinging the bat so much better here the last maybe week to 10 days. There's an opportunity to be had. He's got to make sure he's ready to take advantage of it and contribute to some wins early on.
Now, the good thing for Cabrera, if he just continues to play well and hit, when LeMahieu does come back, it's like, hey, Oswaldo, go grab your outfielder's mitt. Go grab your first baseman mitt. He's got a lot of options around that infield.
One of the frustrating things, Bob, about being a, quote-unquote backup player is that you get all of these at-bats during spring training, right? You're getting 40, 50, maybe 60 at-bats.
3-2 pitch, Kevin Smith, chopper, third base, one away.
And then all of a sudden the season starts, right, and you're a backup player, and those at-bats go away, and you lose your timing, and it's so easy as a backup to make the excuse, well, how am I supposed to hit if I'm not getting at-bats, to be able to stay sharp. An off-speed pitch, Smith right out of rolled over in front of it. So, again, we go back to this opportunity. If DJ is not going to be ready on opening day, Cabrera swinging a hot bat coming in, you have to take advantage of those at-bats at the beginning of the year.
Grant Richardson singled in his first at-bat.
You're starting to see maybe a little uncomfortable swing there, and that would just tell me an off-balance swing, that the shadows somewhat becoming a factor here. And left on left, a good at-bat here for Richardson to see where his game is.
Shadows will not be an issue in the Monday night game. That's an 8 p.m. start on the Yes app. Little chopper back to the pitcher. Menez on to first, 2 away. Our producer, Mike Medvin, reminding me that it's a 2-hour time difference, so tomorrow night's start will be 6 p.m. in Mexico City.
Yeah, I had a little text exchange with Mike Medvin the other day that got very, very confusing on the time differences, and I said, just tell me when I need to be here to do the game. Let's just simplify it. So, got a 4 o'clock start today, 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Brings up Greg Allen. Allen walked in his first at bat. And a check swing, 1-1. Now, travel-wise for these players, they're in Mexico City through Monday night. Would you, for those, Allen gets a 2-out base hit to left, would you make a quick trip back to Tampa? I assume you probably packed all your stuff and you're ready to go from Mexico City wherever you need to go. Right?
I would assume the same thing, right? And, obviously there's a lot of decisions that still have to be made on this final roster. So if you're Ben Tulabitz, who's a traveling secretary for the Yankees, there's probably so many different scenarios out there. Okay, if you make the club, you're heading to Houston. If you don't make it, we're going to have a flight back to Tampa. We don't know all the details of that, but I'm sure it's going to be a fluid situation.
Now, that's another thing. Aaron Boone said that normally he might call somebody into his office face-to-face to say, hey, you made the team or you didn't. But he's in Mexico City, so might have to be a Zoom or a phone conversation.
Yeah, a lot different, right?
Yeah.
Than when you're meeting with somebody either to deliver the good news that you just made this opening day roster, which, you know, could change a player's career, or on the unfortunate side of it, if you have to tell somebody, hey, you had a great spring, but it just didn't work out roster-wise. So a challenging situation for Aaron Boone.
Well, they have Allen picked off. And he's caught in a rundown. Allen trying to make the most of it. Does he get back in time? They did hang on to the ball. So Allen picked off at first. We'll take it to the bottom of the fourth. Scoreless in Mexico City.
We're so confident in the capability of our SUVs and the performance of our sedans that we offer a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty on every vehicle in our lineup. A fact that should make you confident in your confidence that you've made the right choice with Kia. Lease a new 2024 Forte LXS for $189 a month.
We always thought we would see him until the day when he said goodbye, gave a kiss, and we never got to see him again. Frank from Tunnel to Towers came over, presenting me with a notice that my mortgage was being paid off. Americans should give to Tunnel to Towers so that families like mine can continue to be helped.
Go to T2T.org.
This spring is the perfect time to get away with a great deal on your favorite Hyundai model. All backed by America's best warranty, plus 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease an Ioniq 5 for $199 a month or get 0% APR or up to $7,500 EV bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
I met him a couple times, and I even get to play with him in WBC, and it was amazing. I mean, the skills he has, and he's just incredible, and I think he's a better person in that side. He's just a mentor for me. Definitely he congratulate me and tell me how good it is over here.
Juan Soto with a lot of respect for former Yankee Robinson Cano. They were able to have a conversation about what it's like to put the pinstripes on, and Soto locked into that conversation. We're scoreless in Mexico City in the bottom of the fourth on the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard. Tanner Tully out for his fourth inning of work and facing Robinson Cano, as Cano grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in his first at bat in the first. This time lifts one out to right, gets that one up in the air, and gets the Diablos on the board. Robbie Cano, a solo shot, 1-0. Diablos. It's like he has a new short porch out and right there.
The first time I ever heard Robinson Cano's name was spring training in 2005, and he was a young minor leaguer. And coaches were coming around saying, you need to see this kid hit. The ball jumps off his bat differently, and obviously an outstanding major league career. And the swing really has never changed from the first time he got to the major leagues in 2005. The open stance, taking his time and observing that one, playing it up to the crowd a little bit.
That swing always so effortless looking, and you see the celebration hat as a sombrero. And, of course, it would be rojo in color for the Diablos Rojos. 1-0, they lead it over the Yankees on Cano's solo shot off Tully here in the fourth. Jose Rondon popped to first base in his first at bat.
Again, going back to spring training in 2005, when all of a sudden Robinson was making an impression during the spring, and he comes up that year and hits .297 in 132 games. The rest is history after that.
Rondon out to right. And Allen called off, one away. By the way, Robbie Cano, repaying that mutual respect, he said, for me, it was one of the coolest moments because one of the best players in the game, this is during the 2023 World Baseball Classic, wanted my autograph. A guy, I was one of his idols, but now I'm such a big fan of his because I love to watch him play. For me, he's a perfect player for New York. And I would see he sees a lot of similarities in terms of left-handed bat, swing, effortless, good control of the strike zone.
And I think also the personality to be able to say this guy's going to be perfect for New York. And now we've only seen it from Juan Soto during spring training, but you could tell he enjoys the big moment. He enjoys the stage. And we'll see him on opening day against Houston, where it all begins for real.
Jafet Amador grounded out to third base in the second inning. Tully missing away 2-1.
Well, you could tell that this guy is a fan favorite in Mexico City. The numbers speak for themselves with his production last year. But when he got introduced for his first at bat, there was a different level of applause and appreciation.
And a base hit to left field with one out. Tully's at 38 pitches. I would imagine they'd love to get him through this inning. Maybe he can get a double play ground ball. Aristides Aquino is up. He did ground out in his last at bat.
Well, Bob, we talked earlier about the players kind of taking in this whole experience and really enjoying the moment. I think Aaron Boone is one of those people, as Mariano Rivera, fan-friendly in Mexico City. I think Aaron is one of those baseball historians where he loves the game, he loves the history of the game. And I think when he was talking to the media, you could tell the appreciation on what this means to him to bring the Yankee brand to Mexico City. He knows how important that is.
1-1 pitch to Aquino. Tully misses up 2-1. And a swing and a miss, 2-2. And in talking to Omar Minaya, you got the sense that if it was any other team, it would not quite be the same thing. But the fact that the Diablos have such a rich history, 16 championships, the Yankees of Mexico is what people call them, that this matchup is a perfect matchup for a two-game series. Three-two pitch coming up. Crowd is amped up for it. And Aquino pops that one up. Rojos tracking it down 2 away. Gets out a little ahead of that one and got underneath it. And you see Rojos call off Trevino for the second out of the inning. Jose Marmolejos is the first baseman. His second at bat. He flew out to left field in his first. They really go after first pitch fastballs, no doubt about it.
Really
that
good,
little cutter?
Really good pitch right there from Tully. That little cutter on the inner half that'll freeze a left-handed batter, and that just cuts right to that inside corner. Good pitch, good call by Trevino.
He's ahead 0-2 and trying to get him to swing. Did he check his swing? Nope. They called him out, so Tully able to work his way through this inning, but not before Cano hits a solo shot to put the Diablos up 1-0.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Can you feel it? Mustang Mach-E. Feel something electric. Right now, lease a Mustang Mach-E for $399 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Rogers, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic. Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
This trip by the Yankees to Mexico City to take on the Diablos is a big deal. Last time it happened, March of 1968. On the right, that is obviously Mickey Mantle in a sombrero. He homered in one of the 4 games that they played against the Diablos and the Tigres. Flash, I'm not sure he was as happy to be wearing the sombrero in that picture as he was in the previous one. Joe Pepitone was there as well. The Yankees winning 3 of the 4 games. And again, that was like a basically quite the event in Mexico and Mexico City when the Yankees came to visit mid-March of 68. Yankees won 3 of 4. The Diablos did win one of those games. They outscored the Diablos and the Tigres 25-16. Mantle had the home run in what would be his final season. So again, going back to Omar Minaya, those folks had a chance to see Mantle before he ended up retiring. What a great moment for them.
Amazing moment, and it looked like the players were embracing that whole trip. Joe Pepitone always liked to have a good time, enjoying some time in Mexico, so pretty amazing that we come back 2024 and do it all over again.
New pitcher for the Diablos is Edwin Fierro, and that is the box score on the 20th de Marzo. And you take a look at that. It was a 9-1 Yankees win. Pepitone went 2 for 5. That's old school right there. That's you pick up the morning paper and you get that. Or that came across the wire somewhere. Anthony Volpe leading things off. He was at bat in the 4th inning when Greg Allen was picked off first base. Lifts that one up in the air to left field. Yeah, 1 away. Would you expect this game to be, for some of the regulars, Flash, like a normal spring game, maybe 3 at-bats or 4 at-bats, and then Aaron Boone will make some substitutions?
Yeah, I would think so, and there's probably some conversations going on in the dugout with guys like Volpe and Stanton, like, hey, do you want another at-bat, or was that good for you? You're going to take it to the house and get ready for tomorrow night.
Stanton is grounded out to short and struck out so far. Kind of an off-balance swing there as he chased a pitch outside 0-2. That's the biggest thing with him, right? That level
balanced stance.
It is. I think the end result that we see sometimes when his feet are moving and he's off balance, it tells us that he's not where he wants to be. But I'm watching his hands this spring, and there's a little more movement in his hands, which gets him ready to hit a little bit earlier. And the elevated fastball and velocity last year was an issue, and we're not seeing as much of that this spring. You don't have to cheat to get to velocity, but you need a little bit of movement in your hands, get a little bit ready to hit a little bit earlier, and you should be right on time.
1-2 pitch. And a chopper to third base. On to first, 2 away. Well, suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, T-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Yankees at MLBshop.com. 1-0 game here in the top of the 5th as the Yankees visit Mexico City for 2 games. One today and another tomorrow night before they're set to break camp and get ready to start opening day Thursday the 28th, Thursday afternoon in Houston. That's a tough little start for them, too. 4 out of the shoot in Houston and 3 against the Diamondbacks in Arizona.
Yeah, Diamondbacks with that good run last year, a good young team, and obviously we know the Houston Astros and the history between the Yankees. So Framber Valdez against Nestor Cortez opening day.
Cabrera is 1 for 1. He's walked and singled, got as far as third base for the Yankees, left him stranded with 2 on in the 3rd.
You got a little pre- and post-game coverage on opening day, right?
Sure do, absolutely.
What time do I need to be there for that, Bob?
I should probably show up at about 7 a.m.
That's a little early.
Coverage begins at 3 as a ground ball to second base, and that will do it. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th on the Cadillac scoreboard. 1-0 Diablos.
Up your fan engagement with Yes Rewards on the Yes app. Watch live games and earn points. Play the hottest games and score more. Earn status, then redeem your points to win prizes. Yes Rewards on the Yes app.
Listen up, Nets World. Get into the action and lock in a 2024-25 Nets level membership. Members have it all, from exclusive events and behind-the-scenes access to discounts across merch and tickets. Not to mention the ticket flexibility in the first place, with round-the-clock management and seamless transfer to your squad. This is Brooklyn, and it's yours. Become a member today.
I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Playing in Yankee Stadium is the best thing that could ever happen to a ball player.
It's a huge honor to put this uniform on.
World champions. There it goes. Back on top. This is the Yankees being the Yankees.
Play your favorite slots today, and you can win the next big jackpot. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds. Only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Fernando ready, and the strike 2 pitch is hit back to the box, dribbling to second. Samuel on the bag, throws to first, double play. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter at 10:17 in the evening of June the 29th, 1990. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
The incomparable Vin Scully bringing us our Audi electric moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local tri-state Audi dealer today. Diablos leading this one, bottom of the 5th on the Cadillac scoreboard, 1-0 on a Robinson Cano solo home run. I was growing up in Los Angeles when Fernando joined that team. It was called Fernando Mania, and it was absolutely that. His starts were appointment television, and he came up as a teenager.
Amazing career. Amazing when he came up and just basically overtook the game with Fernando Mania. And I was lucky enough to catch him 6 years after that no-hitter. at the end of his career. And what a great teammate, first of all. What a funny man, second of all. And what a blast to catch, because his stuff at that point was kind of diminished, right? He didn't have that good fastball. But back, today we talk about cutters. Everybody's throwing cutters. Fernando back in 1996 had a nice little cut fastball at about 86 miles an hour.
Ground ball, Volpe on to first, one away.
And, of course, you knew this, Bob. He was known for his screwball,
right.
And there is a great look at the resume.
I mean, look at the eyeballs, too. Look into the heavens as he made that turn. Won a championship in 1981 with the Dodgers. Postseason career ERA, 1.98. And, of course, one of the favorite sons of Mexico from Navajo.
Well, dominant in that Cy Young and Rookie of the Year with just amazing stuff. But when I caught him, he was such a baseball savant on how to get hitters out, right? And I was saying he was known for that screwball. And there were times he would purposely throw ball one with a screwball away from a righty, ball two with a screwball away from a righty, and then cut a little fastball in on the hands and get an easy out and start laughing behind his glove. What a treat.
We'll talk more about Fernando and more about the Diablos coming up as the Yanks make a pitching change.
Hey Google, take me to Lookout Point.
Okay, navigating to Lookout Point.
Current eligible non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2024 Cadillac XT4 Luxury for around $399 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Our incredible same-game parlay gets even better when you add Profit Boost. You can still combine all of your favorite selections to increase your potential winnings, but now we're giving you the option to boost your profit up to an extra 30%. Look out for a profit boost on select games and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is New York. When the action heats up, we know how to get loud. Fact is, we love our Yankees, and we never miss a single game on Yes.
Oh, yes.
Headlined by the captain, Aaron Judge, and the newest superstar, Juan Soto. This season, don't miss Yankees baseball on Yes and the Yes app.
Welcome back to Yankee Spring Training presented by Ford. Proud to be the official SUV of the New York Yankees. Yankees fans show their colors everywhere they go, but Diablos Rojos fans showing their colors as well in support of their team, leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth as the Yankees make a pitching change and bring in Jonathan Loaisiga. Loaisiga missing away, 1-0. Good spot for him to come in, one out, nobody on base in a situation maybe he'd have to come in at some point in the season.
Yeah, and you see the numbers from last year and what jumps out at you, only 17 games, and such an important piece for the Yankees moving forward this year to keep him healthy, be a big part of that bullpen.
Facing the catcher, Xavier Fernandez, who singled back in the third. And fly ball, left center field. Richardson calls off Allen, 2 away. Want to go back to that conversation about Valenzuela. James Smythe, our colleague, bringing this up. You caught Fernando 26 times in 96 and 97. That's a lot of quality time with Fernando.
It was a pleasure because he would, as David Cohn said, he would drive the bus, right? I mean, he was calling his own pitches and, like I said, purposely throwing balls out of the strike zone so that eventually later on he would be able to run a little cutter in there to get an easy pop-up. So he was such a fun guy to catch.
Also, we should note from 81 to 86, 6 straight All-Star seasons. Flash and I were talking about this off air. He averaged 256 innings.
Amazing. It's amazing when you see some of the numbers that these starting pitchers would go out there year in and year out and throw 250-plus innings. And then again, I go back to the cut fastball that we hear so much about today. Fernando was throwing back in 96 and 97.
0-2 pitch from Loaizaga just misses inside. That's part of his beauty, right? I mean, he was known for that screwball, as you said, but just tweaking the pitches a little bit like it was nothing to him.
Yeah, I think in today's day and age where, you know, you have the pitching labs and everybody's trying all the numbers, you know, Fernando was old school. I know how to get people out. As Loaizaga gets a called third strike there.
He knows how to get people out as well. A 1-2-3 fifth as we take it to the sixth in a 1-0 game.
When we tell people it took...
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now, get 1.9% APR for 72 months on Ford F-150, only at your local Ford store.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions. Telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Diversity is in our nature. It is in nature, too. Biodiversity. It connects us and sustains us. But nature's biodiversity is at risk more than ever before, and the future of all life is in our hands. So what will you do? Love it or lose it?
We're back in Mexico City with the Diablos Rojos leading 1-0 in this ball game. Tanner Tully pitching very well in this one for the Yanks, keeping the Diablos to 1 run. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Michael Marriott is in to pitch for the Diablos. And he will face, we believe, Oscar Gonzalez starting things off here in the top half of the sixth inning. Gonzalez penciled into the cleanup spot. 1-0 Diablos in the sixth on the Audi scoreboard. Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty with you. As we've enjoyed a great afternoon of baseball in Mexico City. And pitching has told the story pretty much. Yankees have put together some good at-bats, but yet to push across a run. Oscar Gonzalez is grounded out and singled, and he's got a second single of the afternoon, leading things off here in the sixth.
Well, Gonzalez, one of those guys, when his swing is right on time, it's just so short and sweet. Drills that line drive to left field. Big league time with the Guardians, so he's going to be an insurance policy for the outfield for the Yankees, you would think.
I mentioned the Yanks offense is threatened. They left the bases loaded in the second. They left 2 on in the third. But again, trying to string together some base hits. This is Jose Rojas. He has popped to short and struck out. And strike evens the count at 1-1. Marriott missing away, 2-1. Going with the off-speed stuff, keeping the ball away so far.
Yeah, a couple of back-to-back change-ups, looking for that ground ball possibility of a double play. Doesn't look to be overpowering with velocity.
Chips away at the outside part, misses again, 3-1.
Well, this is if you're Rojas here, you're in the driver's seat, 3-1 count. You have a runner at first. You got that hole between first and second open. Look for that fastball in the inner half. If you get it, try to do some damage. If not, be disciplined to take if it's not what you like.
And instead a swing and just gets a bit of the barrel on it. 3-2. Our viewing audience will know that they love that horn. And again, maybe it's a disruptive force of some kind as Gonzalez gets thrown out at first.
Yeah, Gonzalez not known as a base stealer, but maybe trying to get a little bit of a jump on a 3-2 count if he was going to be in motion. The good quick tag. Just got caught leaning.
Is it the horn? Is that it? We've seen a few crazy things happen so far.
I'm sure the guy who's working the horn is thinking that I have something to do with it, but I don't know if I'm going to give him that much credit, Bob.
No doubt. One out walk, and that one hurts. It could have advanced the runner to second, but Rojas with a one out walk. And that'll bring up Jose Trevino. Trevino is singled and grounded out in this game. Just big picture, if it is Trevino and Austin Wells, what do you think of that combination? The way Wells is hit, left-handed bat, and Trevino working together.
I love everything about it. I mean, I think you start, if that's the way it all plays out, you can play matchups, right? Right-handed pitching, left-handed pitching. But I think in the room, Bob, in the clubhouse, in the pitchers' meetings, Jose has so much to offer on game calling, experience, and the ability to help out not only Austin Wells getting better in that department, but the rest of the pitching staff. So if it plays out that way, I think at the beginning of the year you go matchups righty-lefty, and then you see how it all plays out. And obviously a young player like Austin Wells, you want to make sure he's getting plenty of reps where he's not sitting too much, where his development is going to be stunted a little bit. But he has shown enough this spring training. I showed it in September last year, but we always know you don't really pay attention September, you know, with the end of the season and then spring training. You say, okay, well, we don't pay attention to these numbers. But I'm talking about the work behind the plate, how much better defensively Austin has improved. In my opinion, he deserves to be on this team. It gives you another left-handed bat that you have to like.
2-1 pitch to Trevino. And grounds it foul, 2-2.
It's such an interesting time of the year for so many different players who are fighting for a big league job. Right? Is there an opportunity? Maybe not. Do I go back to the minor leagues? Is there going to be some players who are going to be released? Are there going to be players picked up on waivers? It's just the last week of spring training. It's just from a player's standpoint, when you're on that bubble, so many different things can happen to you. And then you throw on top of that, if you have a family that you're responsible for, you just don't know where your life is going to be next week. It's an uneasy feeling.
And there are players with opt-outs. There are still veteran free agents that are out there. It is an interesting time, and it's gotten more interesting over the past few seasons with the way that has developed. 2-2 pitch coming up to Trevino with Rojas at first. Fouls that one away to stay alive.
You know, just talking about it brings me back to 2003 when I made the Yankees as a non-roster player. And I did not find out that I made that opening day roster until the 5th inning of the final spring training game, where it was between Chris Widger and myself for that catching spot. And Joe Torre told us both, I know this isn't fair, but you both have to pack like we're going to Toronto, and we'll let you know at some point during the game.
Swing and a miss by Trevino for out number 2.
The 5th inning, we're both sitting in the
dugout. Were you guys
dugout.
playing that game, by the way, at all?
No,
okay.
Joe said, I'm not going to play you guys. We got to figure out what we're going to do here. So Chris and I were sitting in the dugout together, and we got along great. I mean, you knew what the situation was, but Robbie Kukuza, the clubhouse guy, came in and said, hey, Chris, Joe needs to see you in his office. So now I'm sitting there like, is that good for me or bad for me? I have no idea how to read it. And then 5 minutes later, Robbie came and said, Joe needs to see you. And I got the good news that I got the spot. And Chris went to St. Louis. And we were both veteran players, so we kind of had a good feeling. If it didn't work out with the Yankees, there was probably going to be an opportunity somewhere else. And again, I go back to, how about the guy who was in St. Louis, thought he made that opening day roster, but Chris Widger was available. He gets the spot instead of him. So many things change here in the last week of spring training.
Kevin Smith, the batter, with 2 away and a runner at first. When you got called in, did you see Widger at that point, or was he already gone?
No, he was in the clubhouse, but I didn't know. You know, Joe's office, when you come up the dugout, is to the right.
Right.
And the players' locker room, or clubhouse, is off to the left. So when I ducked into Joe's office, I saw Brian Cashman and Joe, and they both gave me the good news. I did not see Chris. I went back to the dugout and kind of took it all in, and then, you know, Chris packed up and made his way to St. Louis.
Any conversations on the bench with anybody? Like, hey, Flash, what did they talk about?
Yeah, there were, but it was more just me kind of sitting there. Like, there's a game going on, right? Other guys are competing, but it was me kind of just sitting there like, oh, this is, you know, amazing to be able to make the opening day roster in New York.
Kevin Smith to left field, and that will do it here in the 6th inning. Yanks strand another. Still a 1-0 ball game.
Hi! Need new glasses? It's buy one, get one free at VisionWorks. How can you see me squinting? I can't. I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
See your tax refund go further with buy one, get one free at VisionWorks. See the difference.
Change is never easy. There will be naysayers, doubters, and critics. You may even give up for a moment, only to start again another day. Because you believe in moving to the beat of your own drum, in passing down lifelong skills, in your ability to lose weight and keep it off. And when you believe you can succeed, you already have.
Wegovy is for adults with obesity and shouldn't be used with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines. Don't take Wegovy if you or your family had medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if allergic to it. Stop Wegovy and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis and gallbladder problems. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat type 2 diabetes. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes, or if you feel your heart racing while at rest. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Call your provider right away if you have any mental changes. Common side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
So keep on believing, because it's not just about the weight you lose. It's about everything you gain. Believe on Wegovy.
Hey fans, last season's Aaron Judge number 62 bobblehead giveaway that was rained out has been rescheduled for Saturday, April 20th. So come see the Yanks take on the Rays, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive an Aaron Judge number 62 bobblehead, the second of a 2-part collectible set, courtesy of TikTok. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. That was a game that was October 20th.